What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Got another good one for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoy it. Today we are looking at Pearl Jam Jeremy. I've seen this one in the comments a few times, so we're going to check it out today. So without wasting any time, let's get into it and see what this one's all about.
And the news media plus a lot more.
This looks like a bunch of news clips.
In America today.
When he said daddy, that was a pretty evil looking face. But drawing pictures of mountaintops and the dead lay in pools of maroon below. Huh. So the maroon obviously is blood.
Oh, to the fact that mommy didn't care. King Jeremy the wicked overruled his world. Jeremy spoken yesterday. Jeremy spoken yesterday.
So this one, I'm not gonna lie, this one's a little hard to follow, but I feel like there's something traumatic that we're going after because the lack of attention and care that he's talking about with the parents. Now, I feel like in this that we're talking about Jeremy in this one. Clearly, he's somebody important because not only are we talking about the fact that his dad didn't give him any attention and mama didn't care, and that Jeremy apparently was wicked, but we are also noticing that he spoke in class today. So,
Clearly I remember picking on the boy. Seemed a harmless little fuck.
well,
But we unleashed the lion. Gnashed his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast. How could I forget? And he hit me with the surprise left. My jaw left hurting. Ooh, dropped wide open. Just like the day. Oh, like the day I heard. Money didn't give a fuck.
okay, so, all right. He used to bully this guy, apparently, right? So Jeremy must be the recipient of a bully. And I'm guessing that the singer is speaking in a manner that where he's talking about something that I'm curious. I'm wondering if Jeremy because he goes on talking about how he was picking on the boy. He seemed like a harmless little fuck, but we unleashed a lion. So obviously Jeremy bit back, and he hurt his jaw. Huh.
And the boy was something that mommy wouldn't wear. King Jeremy the wicked ruled his world. Jeremy spoke and yesterday. Jeremy spoke and
Okay, so yeah. It seems that Jeremy, I'm going to assume that this kid in the middle of the screen is Jeremy. And obviously, all of the kids are picking on him. So to me, it seems like Jeremy has done something to catch everybody's attention with. I feel like Jeremy spoke in class today. I feel like that line has a far deeper meaning than just that he spoke to the class. I feel like that. I feel like that goes way deeper. I feel like some of the video is helping to provide that context, which is one of the reasons why I typically like to find the videos that I react to have a video, because I feel like it's important in this video to provide some context as to what we're looking at. And the Jeremy sitting in front of the wall of fire, I feel like symbolizes the fire that's building inside of him because of all of the stuff that he's going through and dealing with his peers in class. Okay, what the hell is this? Why are we doing the Nazi stuff? And maybe I'm not seeing this right, but the flag for one looks like it's upside down. It is upside down. Why is the flag upside down? Oh, I just noticed. Life crisis, anxiety, discrimination, I guess, environment. There's like a bunch of like mental health stuff written on the chalkboard behind. And normally when you see a flag inverted, it's a sign of distress. And that has to be what this means. I want to go through this classroom. Personality disorder, maybe? No. Just discovered. I can't read that word. Aggression is a word at the bottom. This is kind of crazy. Passive aggressive. So all of personality describers. Okay. So all of it, so all of this stuff points to various personality descriptions. This is interesting. This has gone a little deeper than I thought. I still don't understand. Okay, that face that he made literally looks like he's fed. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I still can't. I mean, clearly the kid's angry. But, I mean, look. I don't know how to say this the right way without everybody being angry. But, unfortunately, while I disagree, I was bullied when I was a kid, right? But it made me who I am today. I didn't like it. Nobody likes it, right? But I by no means am I going to go on and say that it's necessary, because it's not. But it does teach you things. And you can learn from it. I'm not saying it's necessary, and I'm not saying it's even a good thing at all. Like, I'm completely against bullying. But with, like I said, I'm not 100% on how to really say this the right way. But bullying is always going to be there. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what part of the world you live in. It's a thing. And you pretty much have two choices with it. You can either let it build up, or you can you can learn from it and toughen up. Truth and fact is there are people out there in this world who lack the capacity to handle those situations. It's not their fault. That's just the way it is. Some people aren't built like that. And then you have others, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to go through that in their life in order to discover who they are, right? That's kind of what happened to me. I got bullied for a long time until I finally I learned to stand up for myself. And then after that is when I started also standing up for other people. So, but like I said, I don't want to lead or even insinuate in any way that I feel like bullying is a necessary thing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a thing that will always be there because there's people that are just like that, right? And it's like I said, you're either going to learn how to become capable of defending yourself, or you're going to learn that you're not that person, right? And I mean, either way, I mean, it sucks no matter which way, because through that learning curve, like you're gonna go through all the frustrations involved in it. So it personally, I still say, like, bullying is not good. It's not nice. Like, it would be better if it wasn't there. But living in reality, it's always going to be there. Okay, so that's the third time I've seen him do this sort of thing, in which I don't feel like I really have to say it, but I feel like that's the sort of thing that this is starting to go after. I'm curious. No fucking way. No. Oh. That's what I was afraid of. So Jeremy spoke to the class. Oh boy. So I decided, because I did notice that this was basically over. That is a very that could play two ways, right? Because in the eyes of everybody that ever picked on you, right? And this is me speaking as though I was Jeremy, right? In the eyes of everybody that had ever picked on Jeremy, he decides to take his own life in front, like literally right in front of everybody that ever did that. That could play out in their heads two ways, right? And it solely plays on literally their morals, because you're either going to go down the road where, we win, Jeremy's gone. But those that even just slightly have a little bit of conscience are going to live the rest of their life feeling like they killed him. 100%. Look, I stand my ground when I say that I do not believe in bullying, right? I don't think there's anything right in it. I don't think there's anything good to accomplish from it. You can learn from it. Being somebody that was bullied when I was younger, I was literally like one of 3 gingers that was in my high school or my middle school, elementary, like the ultimate minority, if you will. But and it's like I got picked on a lot when I was younger. But it's about what you choose to do with that. Do you allow it to rule your life, or do you learn to stand up for yourself? Now, I will say this much. Your parents, you as a parent, will play a large role in how that child deals with those situations. If you teach them to stand up for themselves, it's not necessarily that you're teaching them to be violent, right? Because the important thing to understand is it's not about whether or not you're teaching them to be violent. You're teaching them to use violence only when necessary, right? That's a thing. That is a thing. I'm sorry. Some of y'all aren't going to like that. I don't care. The truth of the matter is at times the only way to deal with some situations is with violence, especially when it's violence. Like you can't, there's a point where you just can't walk away, right? Because they're going to keep making you walk away. At some point in time, you literally have to stand up, stand your ground, and fight back so that they understand this is not right. Because oftentimes what it is people get comfortable in how they treat other people until somebody faces them and makes them face the music for what they're doing. That's the way the world works, unfortunately. Anyway, I wasn't expecting it to really, I was suspicious. I wasn't expecting it to take that dramatic of a turn, right? I figured that, especially coming from the part where in the verse where he was talking about that, he was picking on the boy, was bullying him, whatever. And then he stood up, started standing his ground and everything like that, and busted old boy in the jaw. Like, that was it. But it's like I said, the context in the video is so important, in my opinion, that you can see it wasn't just the one guy, it was the whole class. And Jeremy speaking to the class is by what he did at the end of the video. But man, I'm telling, it's really not, come on man, it's not necessary, because at the end you're just gone. The world moves on. You're just gone. I mean, for what? The best way to get back at everybody is to live and live out your life and be successful and show them, it's like, because there's so many people in my past, in my from middle school, high school, you know what I'm saying, people who were ultra popular and whatever, but I see some of them, it's not all of them by any stretch, but I see some of them who would look like, who I would see. They don't know if I, whatever, but who I would see that seem like they look down on others, but now they're in very not so great situations themselves, right? It's crazy how life decides to play itself out. But anyway, teach your kids how to stand up for themselves. It's important. It is so important. Teach your kids. And if you're a kid and you're alone in this world because your parents are deadbeats or whatever, find somebody, right, to look up to teach you those things and those values that you need to be able to stand up to people. I'm just saying it's an important trait to have. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far in the video, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Sub to the channel if you hadn't. And don't forget that bell so you don't miss any content. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take care.